All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming, and this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, my sixth video today, and I'm going to get as much of the JavaScript done as I can in this video and try to hopefully finish it in the next video, and that'll be it for this evening. If that's the case and we can get it all to work, we'll have our working JavaScript calculator, which tomorrow we'll hopefully be able to convert to a TypeScript calculator. That's the plan. So right now, we've got our index done. We've got our style sheet done. Doesn't look too bad, really. If we go in and run it, doesn't do anything, but it doesn't look too bad either. All right, so let's make it do something. All right, so in fact, let's put a multi-line comment here. And we're going to say this will be a fully functional for feature with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division calculator. In addition, no pun intended, it will also have a live display, and that'll be the expression plus whatever the current value is. It'll have a history log, and what that means is you'll be able to click any entry to reload it. It'll make more sense when you see it in action just in a little bit. It'll have keyboard support, and that'll be most of the next lecture. And finally, it will have operator highlight feedback. Again, it'll make more sense once you see it in action. All right. So we're going to create an object to begin with. This object will hold everything the calculator needs to know. Again, I could have made that a multi-line comment like I did above, but it's fine. So const, let's just call it state. And that's again going to be our object. It's going to be not state, and that'll be equal to the current value will be 0. And again, this is what is shown in the result display. Next, we'll have the previous, and originally at least, that'll be null. And that's the left-hand operand. And it's null because there's nothing there yet. The operator, and that'll be null. And that'll be either the plus, the minus, the multiply, or the divide. Okay? And we can, well, I'm using mathematical symbols or programming symbols for these, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. We have something that's called wait for next. Quiet. And that's going to be false, so that's a Boolean. And that'll be true right after, an operator is pressed. And finally, we'll have history. And that's going to be an array. And that will be an array of past expression equals result strings. All right. Next, we need our DOM references. Remember, the DOM is a document object model. So this is where we're going to add our document.getElementById things. We're just going to call them all elements. So result element, and that's going to be equal to document.getElementById, and that's going to be the result. Expression element. I want to line these up, sorry. And that's going to be equal to document.getElementById, the expression. JavaScript is weird. It doesn't typically, it doesn't matter a lot if you use single quotes or double quotes. But I want to try to be consistent here. Const, it's going to call this history list. And that's going to be equal to, of course, it's not equal. Let's move this over a couple for our next one, too. That's going to be equal to document.getElementById, and it'll be the history list. That'll make more sense again later on in here. And finally, const, we'll call this clear history element, and that'll be equal to document.getElementById, and that'll be clear history. Again, some of those things that are in there might not make a lot of sense right now. They will, or at least should, a little later. All right. We're going to put in some helper functions. All right, this first one, this one will update both display lines. And what are those? They're the expression and the result from the current state. This is just what we're going to be showing the user. So, all right. And actually, that's it for that routine. Next, this will add one entry to the on-screen history list. And we need to pass in that entry to be added. Remember, this is an array, and the way typically you get things onto an array is you use the push method. So that's what we're doing here. That's going to push it onto the array. And we're going to start building a list item. All right. Let's write one more, and then we're probably going to stop lecturing here. Didn't add the double quote at the beginning. That'd help, wouldn't it? Alright, I'm going to stop right here. One thing I've realized I got to do is I've got to add better comments, because there's not much in here right now. Alright, I've got 4 pages of code to put in here for this particular, for the JavaScript, and that was page 1. So this may take 1, 2, 3 more videos, I don't know. But I'll hopefully be back with the next one shortly. Thank you.